Your soulmate's ex just lost control. The truth about you was finally revealed. My beloved child, don't skip, because what is about to be revealed was never supposed to reach you. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and every second of this message carries a missing piece of a story that has been hidden for far too long. Someone connected to your soulmate believed they had complete control over the past, but today that control shattered without warning. Their ex spent so much time trying to rewrite memories, twist conversations, and convince everyone that they were the only person who truly understood your soulmate. But the strange thing is, the harder they tried to erase your presence, the more your name kept returning. Every attempt to bury the truth only made it louder. They thought they knew every secret, every weakness, every dream, yet they overlooked the one thing that changed everything, you. A conversation happened that nobody expected. It started with confidence, almost like a performance, but within moments the atmosphere shifted. Questions were asked that could not be avoided anymore. Eyes that once believed old stories suddenly searched for new answers. The silence became heavier than the words. Your soulmate's ex realized they were losing something they could never force back into their hands. They weren't afraid of another relationship. They were afraid of the truth finally being seen. Don't skip, because this is only the beginning. What happened next wasn't planned, and once it started, there was no way to stop it. Something unexpected unfolded when a single forgotten detail surfaced. It was small enough that almost everyone ignored it before, yet powerful enough to expose everything. Your soulmate quietly admitted something they had hidden deep inside for a very long time. They confessed that every comparison they made between the past and the present always ended the same way. The past was filled with noise, confusion, and endless circles, but whenever your name entered their thoughts, everything became strangely clear. That realization spread faster than anyone imagined. The ex tried to interrupt, tried to explain, tried to defend old choices, but every explanation only created more questions. The room changed. The energy changed. Even people who once stood beside the ex began noticing the cracks in a story they had believed for months. They finally understood that jealousy had been disguised as concern, and manipulation had been dressed up as love. That mask could no longer stay in place. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. The biggest revelation hasn't appeared yet. Someone who remained silent until now is preparing to speak, and the moment they do, the entire picture will look completely different. Now listen carefully, because this is where everything takes an unbelievable turn. Your soulmate didn't suddenly discover who you are today, they discovered that they had been seeing signs all along without understanding them. Every coincidence that brought your paths closer, every unexpected memory that refused to disappear, every strange feeling they couldn't explain finally connected into one undeniable truth. Their ex lost control because they realized they could no longer compete with authenticity. Fear replaced confidence. Excuses replaced certainty. The louder they spoke, the weaker their words became. Meanwhile, your silence carried more power than every argument they could make. And then, without warning, someone revealed a hidden conversation from the past that nobody expected to hear. Those words completely changed how everyone viewed the situation. Faces filled with shock. Hearts filled with questions. Your soulmate stood there realizing that the person they had been searching for wasn't hidden in the future, it was someone whose value had been underestimated all along. Don't skip, because the next revelation is far bigger than this one. A secret that has been protected for a long time is about to come into the light, and once it does, your soulmate's ex will understand that some truths can never be hidden forever. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. A moment passed that felt longer than an entire lifetime. No one expected another voice to enter the story, yet someone who had quietly watched everything finally stepped forward. Their words carried no anger, no drama, only undeniable honesty. They described moments your soulmate's ex had hoped would never be remembered. Small incidents that once seemed meaningless suddenly formed a pattern nobody could ignore anymore. Every attempt to make you look like the problem began falling apart piece by piece. Even your soulmate couldn't hide the expression on their face as forgotten memories returned with incredible clarity. It was as if invisible walls inside their heart were collapsing one after another. The more the truth unfolded, the more obvious it became that your presence had never brought confusion, it had always brought peace. That realization struck harder than anyone imagined. Don't skip, because something huge is waiting for you. This story has reached the point where turning back is impossible. Your soulmate's ex could feel control slipping away with every passing second, and for the first time, they understood that no amount of persuasion could rewrite what everyone was beginning to see with their own eyes. The atmosphere became unbelievably quiet, because everyone sensed that another revelation was only moments away, and this next one would change absolutely everything. Without warning, your soulmate uncovered something they had overlooked for far too long. They noticed that every decision they regretted had one thing in common: it happened whenever they ignored their own heart and listened to fear instead. That realization shook them more than any argument ever could. Suddenly, the words spoken by their ex no longer sounded convincing. They sounded desperate. Every sentence felt like an attempt to hold on to a chapter that had already ended. Meanwhile, another hidden truth quietly surfaced. People began admitting that they had seen your kindness long before today but had never spoken about it because they believed it wasn't their place. Now the silence was over. One after another, they described moments that proved your character had been misunderstood from the beginning. Your soulmate stood there absorbing every word, realizing that the image they had been shown about you was never the complete picture. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. The greatest surprise has still not arrived. There is one final piece of this mystery that nobody has connected yet, and once it appears, every missing answer will suddenly make perfect sense. Then came the moment nobody could have predicted. Your soulmate looked beyond the noise, beyond the accusations, beyond every old memory that had kept them trapped, and they saw something beautifully simple: the truth had never needed to shout. It had been patiently waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. Their ex finally recognized that the battle had never been against another person, it had always been against reality itself. The more they resisted, the clearer everything became. Your soulmate's heart was no longer searching for explanations, it was searching for honesty, and honesty always finds its way into the light. A quiet confidence replaced uncertainty, and the future that once seemed impossible suddenly felt within reach. But just as everyone believed the mystery was finally solved, an unexpected message arrived from someone connected to the past. The words inside that message were so surprising that they left every person speechless, including your soulmate. Don't skip, because what that message reveals next will uncover a secret that has remained hidden until this very moment. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you, and the next chapter begins with a truth that nobody is prepared to hear. Everything changed the instant that message was opened. No one expected a few simple words to carry the weight of an entire hidden history, yet every sentence uncovered another layer that had been buried for far too long. It wasn't written to create drama. It wasn't written to accuse anyone. It simply described what had really happened behind closed doors when no one else was watching. As your soulmate continued reading, their expression slowly transformed from confusion into complete disbelief. They realized there had been countless moments when they had almost reached out to you, but every single time, someone had redirected their thoughts with carefully chosen stories that were never completely true. Suddenly, memories that once felt disconnected began fitting together like pieces of a puzzle. The timing of certain conversations, unexpected misunderstandings, and strange distance that appeared for no clear reason all started making perfect sense. Your soulmate's ex could no longer hide the fear growing inside them because they knew this wasn't something they could explain away anymore. The truth had finally found its own voice, and once the truth begins speaking, silence loses its power forever. Don't skip, because something huge is waiting for you. The biggest discovery is still ahead, and what happens next will leave your soulmate questioning everything they once believed. Then something even more unbelievable happened. A person who had stayed completely silent for all this time finally admitted they had witnessed everything from the very beginning. They confessed they never imagined the truth would remain hidden for so long, but they also believed the right moment would eventually arrive. That moment had finally come. They revealed how your name had been mentioned far more often than anyone realized, even during times when your soulmate insisted they had moved on. Every attempt to forget you somehow brought another reminder. A familiar place, an unexpected song, a random conversation, or even a passing thought always seemed to lead back to you. Those weren't coincidences anymore. They became undeniable proof that your presence had left a lasting mark no one could erase. Your soulmate quietly lowered their head, realizing that the strongest connection in their life had never disappeared, it had only been buried beneath confusion created by someone else's fear. Stay till the end. Because something huge is waiting for you. The next revelation is not just surprising, it changes the meaning of everything that has happened so far. As the silence settled once again, your soulmate finally asked the one question nobody expected: why was I never allowed to see the complete truth? That single question froze the room. No one answered immediately because everyone understood that the honest response would expose years of hidden intentions. Their ex looked away, unable to meet anyone's eyes, because deep inside they already knew the answer. Control only survives while the truth remains hidden, and now that truth was standing in plain sight. Your soulmate felt an unexpected sense of peace replacing the weight they had carried for so long. They understood that real connections never need manipulation, and genuine feelings never require someone else's story to survive. Yet just when it seemed every secret had finally been uncovered, another unexpected detail surfaced, something connected directly to your name that had been protected until this very moment. The people standing nearby couldn't believe what they were hearing, and neither will you. Don't skip, because something huge is waiting for you. What is about to be revealed next will completely redefine the future your soulmate thought was already decided. Preamble omitted as requested. The room fell into complete silence as that final detail connected directly to your name. It wasn't a rumor. It wasn't another opinion. It was a truth that had quietly existed all along, waiting for the exact moment when everyone was finally ready to see it. Your soulmate realized there had been countless opportunities when life had gently guided them toward you, but every single time, distractions and old emotions pulled them in another direction. Now those distractions had lost their power. The people standing nearby could clearly see the difference between someone who tried to control the story and someone who never needed to. Even those who once believed every word spoken by the ex began questioning everything they thought they knew. Your soulmate slowly understood that your greatest strength was never proving yourself, it was remaining genuine while others tried to rewrite reality. That realization hit with incredible force. Don't skip. Because something huge is waiting for you. This is the moment where the past finally stops controlling the future. If this story has kept you on the edge of your seat, share it with someone who believes that truth always finds its way into the light. Every hidden chapter eventually reaches its ending, and this one is moving faster than anyone expected. As emotion settled, another unexpected conversation began behind closed doors. This time, there were no raised voices, no attempts to defend old mistakes, only honesty. Your soulmate admitted they had ignored countless quiet signs because they were focused on louder distractions. They remembered moments when your kindness appeared without asking for recognition, moments that felt ordinary at the time but now carried extraordinary meaning. Those memories became impossible to ignore. Meanwhile, the ex could only watch as every effort to regain influence slipped further away. The more your soulmate reflected, the clearer everything became. They realized genuine connections are never built on pressure or fear, they grow through trust, patience, and truth. One by one, every false impression faded until only reality remained. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. What comes next isn't another twist, it's the answer that has been quietly waiting since the very beginning of this journey. And once it arrives, there will be no returning to the old version of this story. Then, just when everyone believed the mystery had finally reached its conclusion, an unexpected discovery changed everything once again. Your soulmate found something they had completely forgotten, a small reminder from long ago that carried more meaning today than it ever did before. The instant they saw it, every remaining doubt disappeared. They understood that some connections survive distance, silence, and misunderstanding because they are built on something far stronger than circumstances. At that very moment, the ex finally accepted the one reality they had fought so hard to avoid: the truth could never be defeated forever. It always rises at the perfect time. Your soulmate took a deep breath, no longer searching for answers because the answers had finally found them. But one final surprise is still waiting in the shadows, and it involves a decision that could transform everything from this point forward. Don't skip, because something huge is waiting for you. The next chapter begins with a choice that no one saw coming, and once that choice is made, nothing will ever be the same again. The choice arrived far sooner than anyone expected. It wasn't announced with loud words or dramatic gestures. Instead, It appeared in a quiet moment when your soulmate finally stopped listening to every outside opinion and decided to trust what had been growing inside their heart all along. That single decision changed the direction of everything. The past no longer had the power to pull them backward. Every unanswered question, every confusing memory, every painful misunderstanding suddenly became lessons instead of chains. The people who had watched this story unfold noticed something remarkable. Your soulmate was no longer searching for someone to tell them what was true. They had finally learned to recognize truth for themselves. Their ex saw that transformation happen right in front of them, and for the first time, they understood that control disappears the moment honesty takes its place. The silence that followed spoke louder than any argument ever could. Don't skip, because something huge is waiting for you. The greatest revelation isn't about what was lost. It's about what is finally ready to be found, and that moment is closer than anyone realizes. As the days moved forward, unexpected signs continued appearing one after another. Familiar places suddenly carried new meaning. Conversations that once seemed ordinary now felt like hidden clues that had been pointing in the same direction from the very beginning. Your soulmate began recognizing a pattern they had completely missed before. Every time life became complicated, thoughts of you somehow brought calm instead of confusion. That realization couldn't be ignored anymore. The people around them noticed the change as well. Their voice sounded different. Their decisions became clearer. They no longer reacted from fear, they responded with confidence. Even those who had once defended the ex quietly admitted that the truth had become impossible to deny. The story everyone believed had been turned upside down, not because someone forced it to happen, but because reality finally revealed itself. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. One final hidden piece has still not been uncovered, and once it comes into the light, every remaining mystery will finally make sense. Then, just when it seemed there was nothing left to discover, your soulmate received one last unexpected reminder from the past. It wasn't a warning. It wasn't an apology. It was a simple moment that confirmed everything they had recently realized. They finally understood that genuine connections never disappear because of time, they only wait for the right moment to be recognized. The weight they had carried for so long quietly faded away, replaced by a sense of certainty they had never experienced before. Meanwhile, their ex could only watch as the future they once believed they could control moved beyond their reach forever. The truth about you had not only been revealed, it had been accepted. And acceptance changed everything. But don't think this journey is over. Don't skip, because something huge is waiting for you. The next chapter begins with a surprise your soulmate never imagined was possible, and the decision they make next could become the most unforgettable moment of this entire story.